When you create a new document in Adobe Illustrator, you need to consider if this is going to be a print document or a film, web, or mobile device document. If you choose print, by default for a print document, the color mode is CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. You could, if you wish, change this to RGB. I'm going to leave it in CMYK. Now let's say I was doing graphics for on-air or for a mobile device. I could click here and I have presets, in this case for on-air, for television, or for video. And in this case, the default color mode is RGB. The color mode for monitors, for on-air, and so forth. I'm going to stick with print and CMYK and hit create. Make sure we're in the same workspace. I'm in the painting workspace. And when you're in the painting workspace, that does bring up your swatches, color guide, and your library. So these are the things I want to talk about today. I'm just going to pull these out. So this is 4-color process. That means when this goes to a commercial printer, these 4 colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, will be used to create all of the other colors. When talking about color, we often refer to something as the color gamut. Gamut refers to the reproducible range of color. For CMYK, that range of color is relatively narrow because we're mixing pigment. If we were working with RGB, which mixes light, the range is much, much broader. If you roll over the swatches in the colors panel, generally you're going to see the CMYK pigment percentages. So that's the percentage of pigment used to create that specific color. If you click on one of these swatches, bring up the swatches options, again, you're going to see the percentages of pigments used to create this color. You also have something up here I want you to pay attention to. This says it's process color. So process refers to the printing process. If you click on global and say OK, you're going to notice there is a little triangle at the bottom of the swatch in the swatches panel. So let's say I have a number of elements in my illustration that have been colored with a non-global color. And then I have several here that I will apply this purple to, which I have made a global color. Now I have nothing selected, and if I double click on this yellow and make changes and say OK, nothing happens. However, if I double click on this global color and then make changes, say OK, all of the elements in the illustration to which that color has been applied will automatically change and be updated to the new color. So it can be a very useful feature, particularly for very complicated illustration. If you're new to Illustrator, you may be a little bit uncomfortable using color. You're not sure what colors go together. So there is a wonderful tool called Color Guide in Photoshop. And if we, I'll just double click on it and open it up and bring it out here. This is a really cool tool. Now this one is based, right now, it's based on the color that I've got as my fill color. And if you click here, you're going to get all of these various color harmony. Any of these you select, you can be sure that these colors are all going to work together. So if you want to add this group to your swatches, you can simply click here, and then you get a new color group in your swatches panel. I'll give myself a few different options here. You can also just change the foreground color. I'll choose a different color here, and now I've got a whole new set of color harmonies. You can add to your color collection by clicking in here. I'll hold down the Shift key so I can add multiples, and then it will add all of those to the swatches panel. You can also click on the color wheel here to edit the colors. You can move these around, and it will give you new combinations that will work together based on the color harmony you have selected. Now I have modified this particular color group. I'll say yes, and then it gets updated in my swatches panel. Related to this, Adobe gives us a very powerful online tool. We'll go online here for a moment, and this is color.adobe.com. Now I have signed in to my Adobe account. In the Create window, this is similar to what we're just looking with the color guide. We can create various combinations based on these color harmonies. And if you like what you've got, then you can save it to your library. If I go to my libraries, These are all the colors that I have saved already. They're actually referred to as color themes rather than color collections. You can also extract color themes. I can bring a photo in and it will create a color theme based on the photo. So if you were creating a brochure or an ad that had this photograph in it, creating a color theme that goes with it can help integrate all of the elements. Another powerful feature in Adobe Illustrator is the Replace Color feature. This gives you the option to try all kinds of different color combinations very quickly and easily. You can quickly change the whole mood and attitude of your piece with one click. Now I have created a number of different color themes in my color swatches. By the way, I want to thank Esther Hahn, a former TA of mine, for creating this illustration for this demonstration. Now I'm going to select the whole illustration, and over here in the Properties panel, there's a feature called Recolor. So if I click on this, it brings up this interface. And over here are all of my different color themes, color groups that I have created. I can just click on a color group and it will automatically replace all the colors in the illustration. You have some options down here for modifying the way the colors look. Here we can randomly change color order. This one randomly changes the saturation and brightness. You could add additional colors if you wish, or you could modify individual colors manually by clicking in here, for example, and changing this color, and it will change the color in the illustration. If you say OK, it's going to update that particular color group or theme. Say yes. So what you might want to do is create a number of artboards. So if I go to the artboards panel, and I'll just add several here, and zoom out, copy my illustration, hold down the Option key and the Shift and drag it over. And then you can try different combinations and keep them all together in a single document. Replace Color only works on items that are selected. So it's a really great tool and a lot of fun to play with and gives you just so many creative options.